today's episode 6 of Sculpt N Create, we're chopping it up with a man who literally built the longest swing set in the world. Yes, Guinness World Record certified, and now he's helping high achievers build something just as powerful, their confidence. My guest today is Damion, the founder and CEO of Sizewise Closet Coach. He's a creative force, a UI/UX designer, and a visionary who turns closets into confidence. Inspired by his grandmother, a seamstress who sparked his passion for fashion and fit, Damion now helps people express their best selves, starting with what they wear. Whether you're stepping on stage, into a studio, or just into your next big chapter, Damion's mission is simple. When you look good, you feel unstoppable. So let's get into it. Tap in as we talk legacy, creativity, self-expression, and the power of showing up in style. Welcome to Sculpt N Create, where fitness fuels creativity in helping artists and entertainers towards their physical, personal, and career growth. I'm your host, Trea Da Fit Artist, and who I have with me today is Damion. He's a Sizewise Closet Coach. Welcome to the show, Damion.
Hey, thanks for having me, Trey. How are you?
I'm good, man. Glad to have you, so forth. So, before we get into it, man, let's go into your background, and then we'll get it started from there. But before that, let shout out any links that people can find you on first.
Yeah. Thank you for that. You can find me at Damion or Damion P on social. You can find me at dpprojects.co. That's my portfolio. But most importantly, sizewiseclosetcoach.com. That's where you can find the startup, where we have coaches available to help you streamline and organize your wardrobe.
Cool. Y'all check my boy out. And all right, cool. So like I said, let's talk about going to your background, and then we'll go forward and everything from there. So just tell a little bit about yourself, who you are and everything, where you come from and everything like that.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So I'm Damion, and thank you for having me, Trey. I am Jamaican by birth. I grew up, born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica, and I came here when I was 19. I grew up on the east coast of Jamaica, close to Blue Mountain Peak. My grandmother, she was a seamstress. My mom, she also sews, and, she had odd jobs growing up. But I always remembered clothing being a big part of who I was and my background. My grandmother taught me my inseam before I could count. So that says a lot about how clothing affected who I was. And yeah, came here when I was 19, as I mentioned, straight to Fort Lauderdale. And I started studying design, graphics, and from there worked my way into corporate America, working for PwC, Sapient Nitro, building digital experiences for companies like Atlantis Bahamas, Carnival Cruise Line. And I also have a Guinness World Record for building the longest swing set in the world. That was a project with Backyard Discovery and Big Brother Big Sister. So with my career path as a creative director and my background in fashion, as little as it might be, I brought the best of both worlds together. And I created the startup that you called out earlier, Sizewise Closet Coach. And it's designed to be a personal brand company. And what I mean by that is we help high achievers curate their closets into confidence. And we do that by connecting them with their own virtual consultant to help them shape their closets to fit their changing bodies and lifestyle.
Okay. All right. So it definitely starts for dealing with clothes starting from way back when. And so what would you say that made you start this business up for it, Sizewise? What was the brainchild, or and so to speak, when was that born? How did that come to be?
It was always there. As I mentioned, my grandmother, she was always a part of the picture. She was the inspiration behind it. Mm-hmm. And I saw how easy it was for me to understand the nuances of getting dressed and showing up the way I wanted to show up, feeling comfortable. And I realized a lot of people struggled with that. Knowing your neck size, knowing your bust size is super important. And the idea of having this platform that can share that same experience that I grew up on is why I created it.
And definitely, man, I think, man, even me, as far as me working out, it kind of get hard to find certain clothes, especially me being the height I am and the build I am. Going into the store, it can be a dread. Just trying to find a simple T-shirt, that would fit. in a certain way. I can definitely, it's having somebody in my corner can tell me like what I need to wear, what clothes I should be looking for. So tell me a little bit more about that. So like, what kind of thing do you do at Sizewise or being Sizewise Closet Coach? Like, are you helping them with they fit like from top to bottom, or you telling them like what they size need to be versus what kind of event they going to? However, like, tell me how did that work?
Yeah, I mean, it's all of the above. Think about Sizewise Closet Coach as the Uber for style. And what that means is whatever journey you're on, we can help you get there.
Okay.
And it took a while to really understand what that means as far as, what the value is that we're providing. So we've created it where you can see a coach for as little as 15 minutes all the way up to a few hours. So you book a virtual consult with one of our coaches. So it's a video call, one-on-one, and we help you identify your body type, your shape, your aspirations, your goals. How do you want to show up? And we figured that in order to help people well, we have to really zoom in on 3 pillars, and it's events, transformations, and transitions. Events are easy, right? Folks always need help showing up for the bar mitzvah they've never been to before. The transformations are usually what you can relate to, gaining weight, putting muscle on. And the transitions are usually moving from one point to the next, graduating college into the workplace.
Okay.
Or you just got a promotion and you've never dressed like a boss before.
Okay.
So you can see there's all these different examples within the space that we can help with. And we've made it accessible for everyone.
Okay.
You connect with your own personal coach. You talk to them about whether or not the blue or the red tie will work for the date.
Okay. I got you. So like you stated that it's for everyone, but like, who do you mostly help the most? Like, is it a particular person or niche or demographic that you work with in the sense of doing this, or how is that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we mostly focus on high achieving professional women.
Okay.
But to your point, anyone with a closet or a space, we can help.
Okay.
What we found is women, they see the value in what we've provided, and we've gotten unique requests from our clients earlier to help us shape what we offer. And we've seen authors that need help getting ready for speaking engagements. We've seen professional women getting ready for the workplace that just needs help showing up confidently. So women also, unfortunately, they get judged by the organizations they work for. They get judged by men and women. And they also judge themselves a lot. So having someone in their corner to help them shop their closets, figure out how to help, is usually where our superpower lies, is with those individual women that need that support.
Okay, I got you. So as you know, this is for like artists and entertainers. Also, like as you just stated, high achievers, creatives, entrepreneurs, and so forth. So tell me, like, have you ever worked with anybody like such as an artist and entertainer before, or if not, what way do you think you can help and integrate that? Because when you think about when artists are on the road, they have somebody that does their wardrobe, their makeup, and all these things and so forth. But do you help with certain things like that in that nature, or is it just something like specific to that one person when they by themselves and not really like doing anything for the business wide?
We encourage everyone to use the service. Okay. We've helped entertainers in the past.
Okay.
Most entertainers, however, already know the look that they want to achieve.
Okay.
So usually it's more about helping with shopping or traveling.
Okay.
So those are things we can do as well. And even if they just want to do, a check to see if the outfit works with how they're presenting themselves, we offer that as well.
Okay. All right. So you spoke to most people who already know what they want. So this person is more likely an established person or somebody who has experience in the space to know what their brand is, their image is, and so forth. So let's speak to the people who come into you that's artists, entertainer that's probably coming to you just starting fresh out the scene, but they want to build on their brand, build on their image. And how would you help to do that?
Oh yeah, we can offer recurring services. So we're not a subscription platform. We're a pay as you go, but you can book reoccurring services over
Mhm.
weeks, days, or months.
Okay.
So yeah, you can schedule multiple sessions with a client, with a coach, and we help our clients in that way by helping them streamline, define, understand, most importantly, their body type and what's the mission. What are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to show up as the center of attention? Are you trying to blend in with the crowd? So the alignment with your goals are important to our coaches to understand. But what we really focus on is size. I mean, it's in the name, Sizewise Closet Coach. We want folks to really understand how they change and what their body type is. And through understanding that, we've also built the platform to facilitate that. A lot of folks rely on vanity sizing, and vanity sizing was a construct of making products easier.
Okay.
However, we all don't fit in a cookie cutter, and small, medium, and large leaves a lot of people in the middle. And we're trying to help everyone, including the folks in the middle, to understand these nuances so that when they shop or when they get dressed, they know how to show up well.
Okay. All right. So when you say vanity, so it's just the person just want to look good, per se. So like as me being in the fitness space, that person that lost a lot of weight, they want to show it off. But then there goes the clothes that they did have were pretty big, but now they're in a certain size or certain weight. Now they clothes they wardrobe and change, so now they got to get new clothes and so forth. So so you stating that you will help with that in that manner, or how do you help in that manner? Like you tell them like what size they need to be looking for, colors they need to be doing to fit they skin tone and stuff like that, or how did that work?
Again, all of the above.
Okay.
And the thing is to understand that embracing your personal style isn't a one solution fits all. So the color, the size, the way you wear a particular cut or brand, it all adds up to the final image, right? And depending on what the client has as a priority, that's what we'll focus on. But we always start with understanding body type and shape first. Second to that, I would say it is about understanding, yeah, what are you trying to achieve? Did you just get a promotion? Are you trying to look professional? Or did you just retire? Are you just trying to have a casual, stylish look? So we help clients find the adjectives that work for them. And if they can identify how they would like to show up in the world, we help them achieve that by telling that story in their closet.
So just pretty much any occasion or any type of goal or criteria that they look and achieve, you help with that.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So on a day to day, we like to think we can dress, or some of us might think we can't dress. Or like I can think of my son. Sometimes he just want to wear one color. You know what I'm saying? He used to wear black all the time, and I'm like, man, you got other clothes in the closet. Try to diversify and so forth. So tell us like what kind of hardships have people came to you with for their closet and their self image that they probably didn't realize and that you can shed light on.
Well, to be honest, most of the consultations we have are private.
Okay.
So to get deep into detail, I wouldn't be able to do that, but I can generalize some of the struggles that most clients face. We've had clients that got emotional on calls because size is a very sensitive topic, and they have professionals, whether it be weight coaches or doctors, telling them not to look at sizes. So imagine trying to help a client understand their body type and size without talking about sizes. So that by far was one of the most challenging experiences in the beginning, and we overcame it. We found ways to navigate it, and this is why a big part of what we lean on is less about the clothing and fashion, and it's more about the individual and regaining that confidence in choosing what you'd like to wear. What I found too is, especially what you shared with your son, it's not so much about red or black. It's about how do you want to show up.
Okay.
If we can identify that first and they can agree to that as the conclusion, It doesn't matter what the palette is. It doesn't matter what the brand is. It doesn't matter where the clothing come from. If it represents true to what you say you're trying to achieve, that's the goal that we help our clients find.
Okay. I can see that when it comes to dressing, like you said, you don't deal with them on a long basis, but they can do recurrent type styles. So do the goal consistently change, or when they come to you when they recur, or is it just like this a one size fits all type thing?
Always.
So what I mean is like if you help them, that's pretty much like a one time thing. Maybe like on down the line they may come to you 6 months later or something like that. But where but you help them in that particular time, or is it like a recurring thing that they come to you for?
I mean, if you think about what we discussed at the top of the call, it's always changing. Like Trey is not a small from middle school to college.
Mm-hmm.
Trey always has events that he has to show up to. Trey is always transitioning from one point to the next. And in all of those moments, you have to decide how you want to show up. So none of it is static.
Okay. All right, gotcha. All right, so how long have you been doing this for?
Officially a year and a half.
Okay. And like I know you say you can't get deep into it, but like what would you say has been your, like, I would say two things, like like the hardest person you may have dealt, or the biggest struggle you think, it don't have to be a particular person, but the type of struggles you have dealt with, and your most highest shining moment in helping somebody transform or transition into something, or get that job or that promotion or something like that. On those 2 points, what would you say to that?
So, I mean, there's a lot, man. I've been doing it for a while. So, I mean, every client is a success story, right? If we helped you got on stage, it's a success. If we helped you pack for a traveling engagement or event, that's a success. I would say we have this package called the capsule suitcase, and that was created by one of our clients. They needed that support. She's Christian, and she needed help showing up for a vacation that she, was looking forward to, but she didn't want to step too far away from her faith, and she wanted help dressing and still feel like she's honoring her Christianity. And yeah, we provided some services for free just to kind of get a sense of what she was looking for, and we ended up helping her. She was pleased with it. She implemented the instructions. We gave her a playbook, and yeah, she gave us a good review. And we ended up creating the capsule suitcase because of that. And that's for folks that pack 3 months for a 3-day trip.
Okay.
So anyone looking for that type of help, packing light, feeling stylish. Yeah, we collaborated with a client to create that service for one of our clients.
Okay. I always like to hear people's, success stories and stuff like that. But definitely, I understand you getting people on stage or they get their job and all that. Those are successes. But like I say, sometimes you have those hardships of a person like come to you with certain hardship and getting over to that threshold. That's what I was trying to do, like kind of like the journey of it all. That's basically what I was trying to like. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's, again, that was one. There's a ton of them. I mean, we've helped underserved kids get ready for prom night and job interviews. We partnered with a company called Flight Center here in Fort Lauderdale, and yeah, they help kids that, society turned their back on and, living on the streets, got kicked out, whatever it might be. And their center is like an institution, a college that takes these kids in and help them get back on their feet. So yeah, they invited us to help a bunch of kids. We invited over 50 kids to show up to this event. Macy's donated clothing, and we showed up to help them understand everything that we shared today.
Okay.
Understanding body type, fit, how to show up, how to get dressed for the special occasion. And yeah, it was super helpful, super interesting. We still have a page up on the event that we did to support these kids. And we did get a few donations from folks to help them go through our system. So yeah, there's anyone that comes to us, they're usually in it because they're in a dire need. on the opposite side of that, they've always found the success that they're looking for.
Okay. All right, gotcha. So you now, with that said, you say with the kids and so forth, so you work with kids as well, or is it just adults mostly?
Yeah, we work with kids too.
Okay.
Absolutely. But mostly, I would say from high school on up.
Okay, cool. That's refreshing. Cause you have the etiquette classes that people go to and certain things that mostly, as I hear, that women mostly go to, but you don't hear for us guys and stuff like that doing the same thing on how to dress or how to look in a certain way in certain events and stuff like that. So I definitely commend you on that, because I believe that's something that we haven't been taught. Now, it might be passed down from our parents how to dress in a certain way, but they could just be learning it just by their own experiences, but nothing fully like learning for as a teaching as you do. So I commend you on that, in providing that type of service for people and everything. I think that's something we need. Well, again, like what we already saying, like tell me like what other ways can you help them in their quest for their size and stuff like that. Like I said, again, it changes all the time, whether they going to some kind of event, they on stage and stuff like that. This is for the people, not the one that's established. They might have something by there on the road to help them with that. But somebody who just really getting into the mode of everything, how would you navigate them from a certain event to a show? How would you navigate that, or tell like some I guess tips or hacks or something like that, or what way would you help them in those type of revenue?
I think I understand the question,
Okay.
and it's unique. It's unique for everyone. Whether it's an event, like I can give you more examples of ways that we've helped, so you can get a broader scope on how we're helping. We've helped men from Dress for Success.
Okay.
These men again are seeking help because they're transitioning from hardship into, the workplace. They need help showing up professionally. We've actually, those weren't services; those were more, giving back. And the idea there is just to help folks understand the nuances of all the discussions that people have about showing up. You pick up the phone, you call us, we can help. You dial into one of our coaches, we can help. So let's say, for example, another story. So I'm a part of 3 women's groups.
Okay.
And I speak to a lot of professional women, and we've helped clients from those organizations get ready for special events. And special events meaning most of these ladies speak on stages, so they're always in front of their cohort talking about what they do well. They need help showing up when they go on stage.
Okay.
That's one in many ways we can help. So we don't have specific packages to say we pinpoint where the help will come from. We have time-based packages, so you can tell us how we can help. So you can meet for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 16 minutes or more to let us understand how we can help. So there's even a survey at the beginning of every call where you fill it out, you give us more context on how we can prepare, and that's it. We customize our approach to all our clients so we understand exactly how to zoom in on the issue.
Okay. All right. So I guess what I'm looking to do is basically, like, since it's so niche and unique, I'm trying to get people to understand like fully what it is that you do, and how in ways that you can help them as well. So that's basically what I'm trying to get from you on that tip. So okay, cool.
More than that, so you don't think I've addressed that yet?
No.
Is it still not clear?
Well, no, I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying where, like, for when I'm talking about artists and entertainers, that's what I'm saying. So like, that's what I was like going with, yeah. So, like, how can you help them and everything? We kind of talked about like how you can help the quote unquote person that just working, 9 to 5, somebody in corporate or somebody, going to a certain event. But I was just trying to like, just try to give it like a multifaceted way that you can help. That's basically what I'm saying. That's all.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, I can give you even closer examples to what you do. I had this client. He came to us because he was in the gym. He was working out, and he was putting on muscle and getting some definition. And the stuff he had before didn't fit.
Okay.
So he knew he wanted to, show off his progress, and he met with one of our coaches. He did a 30-minute session, and yeah, she walked him through understanding how vertical stripes can show off his shoulders and his build. And he loved it so much, he gave us a review, and he went out and bought all vertical shirts. So he bought them in dress, he bought them in polo. So the versions of what I can share are so vast and so many. Like, it's not very specific. And we have these questions all the time. I'm sure you have them. I'm sure your friends have them. Those are the questions that we're looking for people to come to us with, so we can provide value.
Okay. Yeah. So like I said, I'm just basically like to get folks to know more about what you do and who all you can help. And I'm sure it's not just one person, because there's so many facets that you can go down with this, and so many criteria and areas or issues that people have when it comes to their closet, their size, and everything like that. Like I mentioned before, with my build, going into a store, and I'm like 6'5", so going into the store, and then I'm like, I weigh about 250, so getting a shirt to, like, I like to have my shirts like where they kind of long, but at the same time it fitting or whatever. It don't got to be too baggy, but I do find that the baggier shirts help me out a lot better than a shirt that's more form fitting, because it end up gonna being too short on me, or gonna feel like it's my little brother shirt or something like that. So that be the dread that I have going into a store trying to find a particular shirt that fits me right. So with you sharing that about bodybuilders and somebody who is a bodybuilder or who just lost some weight and everything, that definitely speaks volumes, because that's another thing I don't think we even talk about as fitness coaches. Once we get them to a goal and so forth, which is a good problem to have. Let's say a person drop down 50 pounds and so forth. That's a good problem to have, is like how now they got to get a different wardrobe. So, but how do they combat that? So with you helping out with that definitely speaks volumes and everything. So that lets me know, like, as I get clients down to whatever their goals or whatever strength gains or muscle gains that they get, I can say I got a guy that can help you out with your wardrobe. I know you having issues with that right there. So Damion, hit him up and he can definitely tell you what you can be wearing, and so you can go out fly, so like that, and everything. But that's basically what I was trying to do, like, is get people to know like what type of things you can do and who you can help, and everything. So because you got some people who just thinking that, well, I don't need any help, or I got my wardrobe fixed and stuff. I'm sure when they come to you, they think they got it, but you tell them something different that they never even thought they that that even existed. Had it ever happened to you?
All the time. Yeah, this is very common. Yeah. I mean, especially with men. Men have a tendency to, just reserve their wardrobes to t-shirt and jeans.
Okay.
And that's okay. Like, we're not here to help everyone. However, they do scramble when they have to show up to that special event, and t-shirt and jeans won't work.
Okay.
So we have the capacity to help even the naysayers that think that style isn't a form of art, because it does. It tells a story. And regardless if you're conscious of it or not, or you deny it or not, if you're not cognizant of what that story is, it speaks before you do.
Okay.
And that's what we help our clients with. So yeah, throw on the t-shirt, throw on the jeans, show up everywhere like that. However, don't complain when you're not looking or getting the respect that you're looking for. And that's where I usually meet most men is, they're not getting the raise, or they're not getting the promotion, and it's how we show up. Showing up is the first part of the job. And we hear it all the time, whether it's showing up late, whether it's not being prepared. How you dress says a lot more than anything you have to say. So being prepared in all facets is important, whether it's for a workout session, whether it's for the podcast, whether it's for work. All these things have to be in alignment for you to actually achieve the goals that you want to achieve, and understanding that the value starts with you first and how you show up in the world. is what we help with.
Okay. Cool. And I like that you said that it's an art to it. That creating somebody's wardrobe or their closet is an art form to that. Can you kind of expound on that? Why is an art or a form of creative expression?
It's simple. I mean, it tells a story. It is a canvas. Your body is the canvas. So if you just stick to black and jeans, the canvas says black and jeans. And we know what that means in the world of clothing and style, right? Usually it steers more towards, solitude, goth, don't come close. It's less about, the camaraderie, and it's more about isolation. And we know that the bright colors usually means, the center of attention, the person that can show up and wear that thing without feeling ashamed about it. And the art form in it is using it to your advantage. If you don't like red, you don't have to wear all red. You can wear a red tie. You can wear a red belt. You can wear red socks. But if we find ways to create that art around having you show up in your own personality, that's the conversation we're having.
Okay.
And by the way, none of this is fixed. It's not set in stone.
Gotcha.
It's a collaborative effort.
Okay.
And it's actually showing options that someone that wears all black wouldn't think about in the first place.
I gotcha. I like that. Like I said, expounded on that because I always say your body is a canvas for us on the fitness side of things, but what we put on ourselves as well expounds on that, and then not only expounds on our body, but expounds on who we are as a person and what we present to the world. So I definitely like that. That message on that, man. Is there anything like that we haven't covered that you might want to discuss with people today that they should know?
I mean, there's a lot.
Okay.
The topic is deep.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a lot. So the one thing I would share that I think is important, especially based on what we've already covered, is understanding that the access to this is not where it used to be, right? And what I've realized is a lot of folks approach the space with assumption, right? We think we know until we really understand what's in front of us. And the space itself it's like a time capsule, right? It's a time capsule we usually ignore until we have to pay attention to it. It simultaneously holds our past, our present, and our future. The past is usually more about the things that don't fit us, but it makes us feel good, so we hold on to it. The present is usually the brands that everyone's wearing, so we have to have it. And the future is usually more aspirational. It's summer or spring break is coming around, so I'm going to shed some fat to fit into this thing so I can look good. And because there's so much moving decisions around the space, a lot of us get decision fatigue. It's analysis paralysis around what to wear, when to wear it, and it causes people a lot of stress. There's multiple studies on it that shows that most Americans look in their fill closets every morning and say they have nothing to wear. So we're helping with that part of it first, because if we can help you get over those hurdles, getting dressed then is the easy part.
Okay. I like that. I think about when you say that, like they don't think they have anything to wear. A lot of folks do it for like as well. When it comes to decision fatigue, like you mentioned earlier, like I can think of Mark Zuckerberg wearing the same t-shirt and pants every day so he won't have to make the decision. Would you say that's a good idea to do? Or they can really, like, if it comes through your teachings, that decision fatigue won't be there anymore because they know how to dress coming to you and so forth from there after what you don't taught them and everything.
Yeah, it's funny you ask that because I hear that a lot. And I think we have to be cautious of where we pick up these ideas from and put them into context that works for us. Mark Zuckerberg, all these celebrities that pick up these nuances of, wearing, even if it's just the turtleneck and the jeans, we saw that with Apple's founder, and they can do that. They're billionaires. People know Mark Zuckerberg. People know these individuals, so they don't have to walk into a networking event to impress anyone.
I got you. Okay.
However, if I dress in black t-shirt and jeans, I'm gonna blend into the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone wears black t-shirt and jeans, they're gonna blend into the crowd. And if the objective is to blend in, great, use that. But if you're building a brand, if you're building your organization, if you want to be memorable, if you want to tell the story that's unique to you and who your brand is, does black t-shirt and jeans work? So these are the questions we have to ask ourselves, and not what Mark Zuckerberg does. Because what Mark does is good for Mark. It might not be good for everyone else.
I think that, like I said, that was important for me to ask. Like I didn't subscribe to it, but like I said, there was some things I heard when you had said decision fatigue, and I know that's why he was doing it. So I thought that was a good thing to expound on. And another thing I would say is that you was talking about was the brands. Like, is that really of importance? Because you hear that most of these brands that come out, some of them even compete with themselves, or they'll make a knockoff version of themselves just to get the lower version to maximize their maximum income and so forth. But with that said, like some of these designs and brands and so forth are made in the same warehouses. They just put a different name on them. So do you think we get too caught up into the name brand thing? Is that a thing, or is that something we should look into, or what?
It is a thing. It's a thing. It's called fast fashion, and it's actually destroying the planet. And fast fashion is the idea of seeing it on TV and being able to purchase it in 3 hours or 24 hours as quickly as possible. And usually the cost of that is poor manufacturing and not having an item that stand the test of time. And I'm sure you've seen it. You buy a shirt or a pair of jeans that goes through the wash once, and it's a dish rag. Like, you can't wear it again. You can't iron out the amount of wrinkles it got from just one wash. And it's because of the type of fabrics that we're using. It's because of the type of manufacturing process that it goes through. And it is a thing. I mean, just a few years ago, the return rate on products were over $400 billion, and 12% of that was clothing and apparel. And it's gotten so bad that you can see fast fashion waste from space. So there is a picture of the deserts in Atacama where you can see piles of clothing just sitting there. So the U.S. is one of the biggest consumers, and we're shipping our waste to other countries, and it's having a devastating effect.
Yeah, I did hear something like that, the whole space thing, and then I think it's I forgot what country it in, but they got it on some beach or landfill or whatever that.
Oh, it's everywhere. It's in India. It's everywhere. It's in Africa. Wherever they can find an open lot, it's there, and it's ruining waters. I'm sure you've heard of the incident in India, the Rana Plaza event, where there was, a building fell, and the streams of rivers are now turning into the blue color jeans that they're manufacturing. They showed an image of a dog that went into the water because he thought it was a river, and the dog came out blue. And you can Google that image, and it's scary what we're doing to the planet just because of what we're chasing with these brands and the brand recognition. So to answer your question, when we align clients with the story that shapes who they are through their own personal goals and achievements, rarely does it align with a brand. It never aligns with a brand. So we'll never recommend you getting any high ticket item to show up the way you want to show up. Now, if that's your preference, that's a different thing, but you can go thrift and still show up the way you want to.
I agree.
And we can guide you in that direction.
I agree. And I wanted to talk about that because, like I said, I think that's a very important issue because we kind of tend to want to, look like somebody else, or look like we got this type of money, or we perceive to be in this type of class, and it's for people that who ain't even looking our way or even thinking about us like that. So I think that comes to a state of not just what we wearing, but a mental aspect of everything. So do you help with the mental aspect of how they see themselves when they wear certain things too as well? I think that speaks to that. If I'm going in the correct direction with that, I think that speaks to that too as well when they dressing themselves.
Yeah, confidence is all mental.
Okay.
And yeah, that's exactly what we lean into. We give all the information they need to understand how to make better decisions.
Okay.
So vanity sizing, we talked about that earlier, but we didn't dig into it. It's designed to help people feel good about themselves. However, it's not the whole truth. So you'll find that smaller sizes are usually found in more luxury items.
Okay.
So if you can pay for the good, if you're a large in a luxury item, they'll give you a medium or a small. If you're an extra large, they'll give you a medium or a small. And the vanity in that sizing is to play on ego.
Okay.
I know I'm an extra large, but I don't want the tag to say it.
Yeah, I think I've seen something like that.
So that's the idea behind vanity sizing, and really understanding that regardless of what it says on the label, if my neck size is 15 and a half, it's 15 and a half. Dictating how I show up through these letters, small, medium, large, even numbers for dresses, 2, 4, 6, is what we steer our clients away from.
Okay, I like that.
So building that mental knowledge of understanding what these things mean and how they work for you is a form of building that confidence and knowing that Excel doesn't dictate me, or Excel shouldn't make me feel depressed.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And how you said it just put in my mind, like when I'm working with a client and they look at the scale and they constantly thinking that scale, like, okay, they thinking, all right, I want to get to this weight, and they maybe not seeing it, or for it's on the scale wise, but they not really focusing on how their body is pertaining to that. They not looking at, they don't lost some fat, they clothes, dress size or pant size went down, but they looking at their scale to be a certain number. And I always say that that's just one part of it. It's not the whole thing that you should be looking at. And I think that speaks to what you're saying, on that behalf, for is them looking at the size is their size, and they need to, kind of be coming to terms with that and everything for us that. So getting that to, addressing that and everything so they can see it a lot differently and move accordingly towards what they need to be for, not only with their size, but also to the clothes that they're wearing, to encompass that all in a whole. Because I think too, they look at where we well, I used to look like this in high school. Well, yeah, like you said earlier, that was high school. Things change as you get older, and everything. Your metabolism, changes and stuff like that. And the way you was eating should change, but most times you keep that same way of eating up. So that's the reason why you come here to me today, and stuff like that. So I think all that goes into to accordance with that. So, and again, like I said, from the body being your canvas to what you putting on that canvas too, as well as what you putting inside of that canvas. So I think all that speaks to it and everything, inside and out. So I'm glad that you touched on those things, man. So is it anything, like I said before we get out of here, like, is there anything else that you want to talk about that we making an address that they should know going forward?
I think you wrapped it up real well. At the end of the day is about embracing who we are and not having the exterior inform the interior. It's a big miscommunication that most of us have embraced, where we think the outside should influence the inside. And we can be inspired by the outside, don't get me wrong, but cultivating what's inside first is what matters, and understanding how to do that with working out, getting dressed, speaking well, all of that is a part of it.
Okay, I like that, man. We're gonna end it right there. So before we get out of here, man, let everybody know again where they can find you at.
Yeah, you can find everything that we've been talking about at SizewiseClosetCoach.com. That's where you'll find all our coaches. I'm not a coach, by the way. I'm just the founder. I'm the guy that built the thing. And yeah, they're there to help you curate your closet into confidence, help you find that thing inside to help you show up to any special event, date night, job interviews, speaking engagements, feeling like who you're supposed to be.
Like that, man. Okay, cool, man. Y'all check my boy out, Damion. He's the Sizewise Closet Coach. And till next time, we out. Thank you for tuning in to this episode. If you enjoyed it, be sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to the show wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. If you're looking for fitness coaching to help you reach your goals, want to join our animated network for fitness guidance, collaborations, networking, and community, or are interested in being a guest on the show, check out the links in the description. Stay creative, stay fit, and we'll holler at you next time.